Welcome, and I'm hoping you're having a great day so far. So, today we're going to take a look at a few tips and tricks that will help you record better cinematics for Red Dead Online. Remember that you will need a game controller connected to your computer for more smooth movements and to record certain scenes that requires it. This is mainly a PC guide, but follow along if you're on console as well. Just know that a few things can be a bit difficult to pull off. Now, get a controller, jump into your game, and go to first person mode. In order to get the best experience when filming, you will need to configure some settings first. To get the smoothest experience when filming with a controller, you should go over to your controller settings and change first person sensitivity to a minimum amount. This will ensure that you get less jagged movement when turning the camera around in your shots. Do you know that this changes the speed of your head/camera using your right joystick, but it will not change your walking speed. In order to change your walking speed, you have to gently push the left joystick, giving your character smooth and calm movements. You can easily learn this within a few minutes of practicing. Try to walk around in the cities and follow a few NPCs or track certain subjects. It's a quick way to learn how the movement system works. We also want to limit the amount of HUD and pop-ups that can ruin a shot. In order to remove this, head over to display settings and change HUD preset to off. This will turn off most of your HUD and pop-ups. Then scroll down to online and change all of the settings to off. There are still a few things that will appear on your screen, so you have to be a bit careful, but this will lower the amount by quite a lot. Walking around in the game in first person gives a shake effect that can be used to add intensity or a certain mood to your shots. If you start running around or want to do a chase scene, it can be helpful. However, there are other times when this is unwanted for your scene, so in order to remove this effect, or at least reduce it, head over to camera settings and change head bobbing to reduced. It won't completely eliminate the head bobbing, but you will notice a helpful difference. I recommend keeping this as a default setting and then turn on head bobbing for whenever you need it, as you will most likely use head bobbing a lot less than you might think during filming. In order to zoom into your subject, go to camera settings and change your field of view setting for first person camera. You won't see that much of a difference, but it can help you. The lower the settings, the more it will zoom on your subject. As you can see, this is with 0 field of view. This is with 50% field of view. And this is with 100% field of view. You must adjust this slider according to the scene you're trying to record, so you might end up having to change it often depending on your project. So these are pretty much the settings that you need to get started with filming cinematics in Red Dead Online. They are pretty much the fundamentals, although you can tweak and change them to your liking at any time. Unfortunately, aerial shots can get a bit tricky, especially if you want that cinematic introduction to your movie. So your best option will be to rely on mountains and cliffs, and use your field of view slider to zoom in as much as you can to get more detail on the environment in front of you, as well as it will give you the feeling that the camera is somewhere in the air and not relaxing on a cliff. It will give you that needed illusion of height. If you really want a true aerial shot, you can jump on single player and record a game with some type of free cam mod, and then combine that with your online recordings. Now, let's get a bit fancier in how we use our controls. There are times in cinematics that you want to shoot through landscape in high speed, say a chasing sequence where you're tracking a few actors. You need a way to move the camera in an intense and fast way. This is where the horse comes into the picture. In the game, you can simply jump on a horse, start filming, and follow your actors. However, you will notice when doing this, you'll struggle to control the direction of the horse and the camera. This is where using a PC will help you out. You will have to use your keyboard and your game controller at the same time while riding. The keyboard will be responsible for moving and controlling the horse, and the game controller will be responsible for moving the camera. With your left hand, you have to move your horse with WASD, accelerate it with Shift, and slow down with Control. And while doing this, you use your right hand and the right joystick on your controller to do the camera movements. Given that you're in first person mode, you have to avoid filming forward as you will see the horse head, so track your actors by pointing your camera to the right or left or behind you. You can also sit on the horseback to focus down on a subject under you in tight areas or for certain walking scenes. If you want a smoother experience but still do high speed shots, you will need to find yourself a wagon, and preferably this specific type of wagon. For when you're using one, you won't get that shaky effect of riding a horse. The controls will be the exact same, but the experience will be a lot smoother. I went around and tried pretty much all the wagons in the game, but I found this one to be the best one, as it gave me the most recording space without having to get interrupted by parts covering the shots. These wagons are populated around Blackwater and the Heartland's, Emerald Ranch area of the map, although you can find them pretty much anywhere if you look closely. Doing this trick will allow you to get some creative shots, even some smooth pans around the subject, with an elevator height, something you wouldn't be able to do on foot. It takes a little bit of a practice to do those kind of movements, but they look really good. A great part about learning this trick is that you can use it for boats as well. I've tested rowing boats and steamboats, and I found that steamboats is the best for water scenes when doing smooth cinematic shots on the water. You can find most boats around Blackwater, the shores around Rhodes, and St. Denis docks. Sometimes you might get a little interaction pop up on the screen, which can ruin the shot. You can't really remove those in the game, so you will have to hide it in post-production. You can add a letterbox overlay in your project when editing to give that good cinematic look, and at the same time hide the interaction pop-ups. Alternatively, you can edit your project in a cinematic scope resolution and just zoom in a bit so you remove the pop-ups. You can check out my Battlefront 2 cinematic to get an idea on what CinemaScope resolution looks like. I'll leave a link in the description alongside a link for where you can download some high quality letterbox overlays if you don't want to make them yourself. If you're doing a shot that requires an actor to be drunk and you want to add drunk effect in the sequence, simply go to the store, purchase a few Kentucky bourbons, and when you're ready to film, drink only 2 Kentucky bourbons. This will give you a lasting effect for about 1 minute and 30 seconds until you have to do it again. Keep in mind that bourbons are a bit expensive, but it's one of the fastest ways to get drunk during filming. It sounds weird, I know, but it certainly works. Here's a little special one for you guys that I think you're gonna like. If you're trying to have an actor that is acting old, or someone with a damaged leg, you need to get this particular walking animation. You do this by depleting the health core of your character completely, and then walk very slowly with your controller. I suggest smoking or swim for a bit until your health has been drained, as this won't cause any damages to your actor. I didn't have a third actor for this example, but if you need to light up a dark scene, get another player to use a lantern and stand a bit further away. Ask them to be completely still and stay in a location where their light can't be blocked by any NPC or item. I've used this method to light up scenes where the character is in a bar or outside standing during the night. Something so easy can change the entire look of the shot, making it a lot more visible. Avoid getting too close to your actors, for when you do that, their automatic head and eye tracking will start pointing towards you, or in this case, the camera, breaking the fourth wall in filmmaking, which isn't good, unless your movie is based around a structure that permits such a style. In order to bypass this annoying function for filming close-ups, you have to let actors go into their map and stand idle. As long as they have the map open and keep it active, they will stand still without moving the head towards the camera. It took us a little while to figure this out, but it was worth it, and it will help you tremendously, a lot more than you might think, for it's quite annoying when your characters keep looking into the camera. That's what I had for you guys today, and I hope I was able to show you some tips or tricks that could help you out for your next Red Dead project. Filming a Red Dead Online is a bit tricky because we don't have the Rockstar editor yet. So we just have to be patient, we have to practice, and we have to make use of what we have. But despite the limitations, we are able to make some pretty nice shots if you put in the time and effort and the lessons. So go out there, film some beautiful cinematics, and hopefully you will have a great day forward. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions in regards to this video. And until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.